And we're getting we're on 2.5 years now, and I think it's prudent for us to pay attention to it.
As far as your question on taxes, what I can say is, because I have experience, K-12 schools, colleges, and universities do not pay property tax.
Right.
What I don't know is about another municipality, and like our own fire station, we bought taxable land, built a fire station. I'm assuming we're not paying ourselves taxes.
I mean, that's, they're
don't know,
operating.
but that aspect I don't know about.
Yeah, they're gonna, I mean, they're gonna be operating businesses where they have events and it's gonna be a money generator. And so if they're
I
doing
don't know
all.
if that would, so you're getting into areas that
Yeah.
actually are not our purview,
Oh.
and I don't know. 'Cause even like take University of Michigan, the stadium generates tens of thousands of dollars each event.
Millions.
It's
They don't
not,
pay any tax.
they don't pay any property tax.
None-
That's
none
part
of
of the
the
issue
University of
between the
Michigan.
university and the city, that everybody gets, every time the university buys a piece of property, it comes off the tax rolls. But like the school district doesn't pay any property taxes. Those two I do know.
But if you have, like, I'm just thinking of the Lincoln events where you might have food trucks come in and operate.
Right.
So how does that,
I don't
yeah,
think
that's,
that-
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
not in
think
our
it-
purview, but
Yeah.
yes, certainly.
Yeah, it's not in our purview, but I think as a resident, I don't know that it changes anything for the school district, unfortunately. Is there anyone else in the audience? Mr. Taylor?
Yeah. Now that was brought up, I just had a question about that gun range. It is your purview, it should be coming in front of you, whatever they did there before stuff was done, correct? You guys were supposed to look at the blueprints, and there was supposed to be something put out to the people that are around that area before anything was built to notify them this was happening, correct? That's the way it happened with Mitchell Storage. It was just supposed to first go to the board, was supposed to be sent to you, then it was supposed to, they were supposed to be things, certified mail sent to your house saying anybody around so far from that site should have been notified, correct? That's the way it says in you guys' planning.
If a use is allowed as a matter of right, then we don't have a public hearing, there's no public notification, correct? So if
So-
someone wants to build something in a zoning district that's allowed,
Okay,
it's, the packet is publicly posted,
was
but
it?
there is no notification. Now, if someone wants to rezone a parcel of property, or get a special land use, that does require the notification.
Okay, so you should have seen a site plan for this though originally, when that was built, right?
You mean the gun range?
Yes.
I'm not sure I don't want to speak to that. because
How would I find that out?
The township board is trying to address that. And,
How would I find that out? Because everything I'm reading is that things gotta go through the board, then to the site, to the planning commission. And the planning commission always asks for a site plan before something's done. And when I hear board members, a bunch of board members saying, oh, if you wanna waste money and stuff, that makes me really, really think about things. Because it should have been brought to the people's attention around there, because that's hurting their property value. I mean, you see the lady over there broke down crying at the last board meeting. It was just jammed down her throat, this is the way it is. No, it's not the way it is. I know you're supposed to get a site plan from anything, because you're the planning commission, right? You look at it and say, is this okay? Shouldn't the fire department look at that? Anything, it should go through the fire department to check to make sure that stuff was okay, right? I mean, nothing was done that I've seen was done with that, with this township at all. It was just all pushed over it. And that's like, there's a thing, can I ask Ms. Krups a question or no?
Yeah, go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. You know, like at Mitchell Storage, the county said they gave them a permit to put in that huge driveway off the main road.
Okay.
Are there any way we can make the county, and like when he got his electrical in 2016 for the gates, to open the gates and close the gates, they got a permit from Washtenaw County for that. How can we make it to where the township is notified of these permits? Because none of that stuff went through the planning commission or nothing either. That would have been a red flag if the county would have said, yeah, this guy just, he's putting in a big driveway off the main road. If that would have went to you from the county, that could have come back to you guys and said, wait a minute, nobody gave me no plans for this.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, how can, does other counties do, the other people in Washtenaw County do that? Like, are they some kind of there's no communications here with nobody.
So yes and no. So, for driveways, the road commission has complete authority over the road and commercial driveway applications. You wouldn't have to come to the township or any township in Washtenaw County to get a commercial driveway permit necessarily. If you're not doing anything else with the land, right? You're not developing it or doing other.
Disturbing wetlands and stuff like
Well,
that.
I mean, yeah, but, no, the other part of this is the township doesn't have a building department, they use the county. So, typically to pull a permit through the county building department, I also work in Scioto Township, they use the county building department also. We require zoning compliance for anything that you need to get a building permit for. I don't know, I'm not the zoning administrator for, Augusta Township, so I don't know how that relationship works. But for building permits, you can, but for, road commission or, soil erosion or those types of things, you can, let's say I wanted to regrade my yard, I would just go get a soil erosion permit from the county. I wouldn't necessarily have to come to the township for that. So we work together as a community, we're all in Washtenaw County, but there are just certain things that the township doesn't have any jurisdiction.
Okay, Gretchen Driscoll called me and said she'd be loved to work on stuff like that, to stop problems like I had at my house.
And that's something you should talk to the township board about. then.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Ms. Albers was talking about the things, like at the electric thing, how they're, things, safety things and effects and stuff. In 1993, when Mr. Mitchell got his PUD, it says right on the thing to let him get it, he was supposed to contact Eagle for something, a PPE or something, and he was supposed to keep notes on what's coming in and out of there. I FOIA'd it from Eagle, they never did that. Are there anybody that checks up on any of these stuff that's going on at all, or it just after you guys sign off on it and the board signs off on it, nobody ever checks that this stuff's being done?
You'd have to talk to the township board. I mean,
Okay.
my purview is to staff the planning commission. This body doesn't do enforcement,
Okay.
so.
Well, could that be something you could talk to them about? Maybe we need some kind of people looking over these big projects?
That's outside of my purview,
Okay.
so that's something you should just bring to the
Okay,
board.
I'll bring that up
I
at
would
the next,
suggest that you
next board
address the
meeting.
township.
And one last question, where do I find out that if they should have, with that gun range, had any kind of input with you or the county or anybody at the township level, anybody should have been notified of this? And it went through some kind of board meeting to where, you guys say, yeah, this is a good idea or a bad idea. And
It
then
wasn't handled properly.
Huh?
It was not conducted properly.
Okay, then
This
how do
board
we
had
fix that
nothing to
for,
do with it.
how do we fix that for the lady that was crying her eyes out that was losing?
Well, hopefully with the new board, you fix the problem.
Okay, so now anybody, if you guys don't do something to these people, anybody can come in and do this again. They'll look at it and
Oh,
say,
no,
no, that won't happen again?
not under our watch.
Okay, so I still think something should be done for that, to compensate these people. They lost out now, this is there. When they go to sell that house, they gotta say that gun range is there. And that's not fair to them. And I think something should be done. At least maybe you guys can pay the attorney $200 or $300, because before the board switched hands, he said, we need to look into this and we need to look in it now. I need to send them demand letters to fix this and stuff.
Oh, we need a paid lawyer look into
Yeah, you can?
it. We already did it.
Okay, what did he, can you tell me what he said or no?
Pretty much the same thing we found without him,
Okay, okay.
but.
If that's what he
It
said,
took longer than it took us to figure it out.
yeah. Okay, I just still think them people should be compensated because they lost value on their homes and that's not right to let somebody just push over everybody and let it
Well, we
go.
don't know anybody lost any value on homes.
If that's
Because
fine, you
would
gotta
have to
tell,
Get appraisal and everything else, that'd be another hard case.
yeah, but it's a pretty good
Bring
thing
it
to
up
say.
at the board.
Yeah, I will. If you gotta tell somebody there's a gun range behind you and you've been having problems that you didn't lose any money, that's really hard, that's tough for me to swallow.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else in the audience? Mr. Frey?
David Frey, I'd like to address the Carlisle Workman Housing Readiness Audit. This is from the federal government. It initiated under Obama Biden a bunch of money to bring inclusionary housing in the communities. Okay, they got a grant. It should have been 100% paid for by the state, but we kept money in it. It says right in the guidelines, no leverage. So what this grant does is it gives the power to overturn our PUD and our master plan, which we just put in place, to bring in inclusionary housing. The senior housing is a red herring. I'm 71 years old. I don't need senior housing. And if I do, I'm not gonna live in a rural community. My brother just bought senior condo in a community that was developed by a hospital in Farmington Hills. It has independent living, it has senior condos, it has convalescent centers. It's 5 minutes from the hospital. It took an ambulance a half an hour to get to my house. If I have to live in senior housing, I'm not gonna live in Augusta Township. So that's a red herring. There's no need for it here. People in this community don't need it. And if they need it, they're gonna go live where it's a viable place to live, that's got the support to do it. So as far as the rest of this is to overturn our PUD and our master plan. And it needs to be totally dismissed and set aside. There's nothing in it. The people have already rejected it with this last vote, and they're gonna reject any other changes. The people in the community don't need it and they don't want it. And that's it. That's a waste of time. So you don't need to pursue it anymore because it's destroying our rural community and the people here don't want that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Frey. Is there anyone else in the audience? Anyone else? Third and final call, anyone in the audience? All right, we'll close public comment and move on to communications. Ms. Krebs, you have anything?
I would just let the board know that there are a lot of I know we have some new board members, a lot of education opportunities out there. You should, if you're interested, you should look into the Michigan State University Extension. They have what you call Citizen Planner. You can do it as on-site, or they do have monthly modules, and there's tests associated with each module. So I would just ask you all to look into that. And then also the Michigan Association of Planning. They have a flyer that came out, they're through March and April, they have a number of different 3-hour sessions, like plan review, different items that may be of interest to you. So if you have any questions about any of those, I can provide those links to you. I'll do that in an email tomorrow, just so everybody has them, so the board has them too. The Citizen Planner, I highly recommend. I think it's like 8 modules, so it is quite a bit of time, but if you can do it one a month through the year, it's really a lot of good information about planning and community resources.
Was this, I'm sorry, are you?
No.
Okay. Was this the planning that we talked about in like July? Like, was that what you would have proposed back then? And
Probably the
okay.
same thing.
And are there costs for us to do this?
There are costs. I don't know if the township has in their budget some education.
I have no idea, but I think they do have education.
Typically, there is a pot of money for education for planning commission and zoning board of appeals members. So if you're interested in something like that, I guess talk to Alan. He can see if you're interested, let him know what it costs and when it is, and he can help you out. But I'll send those links so everybody has it.
Okay, all right, anything else, Ms. Krebs?
That's all I have.
All right, Trustee Gifford, any communications from the board for
No, I
planning
think
commission?
we're gonna set up where we're gonna bring you guys in to a board meeting. I think the next couple months. Am I right in there?
Not this one, I think, maybe the next one, I think.
Yeah, next one, I think they were gonna bring
Do a
the
joint.
planning commission to meet board.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, anything else?
That's it.
All right, do any commissioners, any communications that you would like to pass on? All right, hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So the motion to adjourn.
Motion by Hamel, is there support?
Support.
Support from trustee Gifford. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. That is 8:14.